Boop, boop. Nah, now I got this microphone. I don't know how to act, y'all. I don't know how to act. But hello SS family. Welcome back to another episode. We crunk. You know, we got the microphone this time. We stepping up a little bit, getting professional a little bit day by day. You know, keep going with your girl. But yeah, welcome back. I'm so happy that y'all are actually, messing with the kid. I'm really happy because the whole purpose of what I'm doing is impact. Like, reference that new BET show, Impact. I think that's like a really beautiful thing. Like, being able to recognize how you affect the world and wanting to not only share where you're at right now, but your process and how you got to where you're at through allowing people to experience you. Like, that is literally the whole point of everything that I'm doing. Like, allowing people to not only just hear me and hear what I've been through, but be able to actually experience me so that they can know, like, I'm being fully authentic and really just doing what I'm trying to do, doing what I can do each and every day to make sure that we're all elevating, because this is one love. I believe in that heavily. One love. The power in unity, the strength in unity is crazy. But y'all, we're gonna start it off with a little icebreaker. As you can see today, I got a little setup. I will be doing my makeup. It will be like a cute little get ready with me, even though I'm not going anywhere. But I love to look good for y'all, so I ain't complaining. But yeah, so this icebreaker is just a question I found from a Teen Vogue catalog. I will drop the link in the description box. So if you guys ever like having like a little fun with your friends and just want like any of the questions I'll be using from here, feel welcome. We don't gatekeep over here, babe. But let's see. Question number 12. What's a bad habit you had that you've been able to overcome? Ciao. I bite my tongue. That's a bad habit. And that's it. That's it for real. Like, me biting my tongue. When I tell you God has put me in situations this year where I literally had to speak up for myself. And I'm not gonna lie, those are probably some of the most uncomfortable situations I've been put through this year. And I probably have grown the most from them. Like, growing up, I speak about this a lot and I will continue to. I had to create my own voice in a sense. Like, I wasn't always heard. A lot of times, if we're being frank, I was not heard. So I had to create my own voice, because if the voice that you're using now, no one's listening to, is it really a voice if you can't be heard? And that's not to say, like, just because people don't hear you doesn't mean, like, your voice has any lesser value. No. But sometimes you have to go within yourself and try to find your true voice and really nurture it and nourish it in a way that whatever you want to come across will be brought across. Because a lot of times when we don't really take the times to nurture our voices and love ourselves so we feel comfortable enough to use our voices, what we want to say comes off in a different way and not how we mean it to say. And that's because we're so afraid of the perception. This is low-key extension of that, but the perception that people will have of us if we were just living our truth and just be straight up and frank. That's why nowadays, I say what I want. Because at the end of the day, like I said last time, you see how there's no one here? No one's opinion outside of your own matters. Right back for the church, okay? preacher is preaching. But we are going to get started on our makeup today. And we're going to be chatting a little bit about self-perception. And I'll just be really getting into a little bit of my journey of self-perception and how I have been able to bring myself to the point where I perceive myself how I'm meant to, you know? Because a lot of times growing up, like, we perceive ourselves by what we're told. Because if we don't know ourselves, all we can do is trust in the people that have been placed in authority over us to tell us about ourselves. Because why wouldn't you learn about yourself from the same people that teach you everything else? So it's like, it's a common sense thing and doesn't make it right, but it helps you understand where the root of the problem is so you can get to it and fix it, right? But we're going to start off with, I already moisturized my skin earlier. Please, child, please, before you put any makeup on your face, wash it and moisturize it thoroughly. Thoroughly, okay? Because you putting all these products up on your face, babe, and it's suffocating, okay? So let shorty breathe every now and again, but also allow her to breathe underneath. But I've already gone in, washed my face freshly. I'm about to go in with my Mary Kay foundation primer. Also has a little bit of sunscreen in it. Y'all, if you're not wearing sunscreen, I'm saying specifically to my black folks that don't think they need to wear sunscreen, baby, you need to wear some sunscreen, okay? Put some sunscreen on. Your skin, she's crying. She's like, help me, help me. And you're not helping her. But yeah, so I just like to go and I do really, I wouldn't say natural. And if you guys see me looking over here, it's because I have my little mirror set up, so it's easier for me. But I wouldn't say it's like natural, but it's only because of my skin. I've taken care of my skin so well to the point where it's like I don't have to wear a lot of makeup to get the look that I desire. So now I've just focused on putting together a strong base so that I don't have to worry about that. Because once your base is good, your skin looks flawless. It's not much else you gotta do. Slap on some lashes, color the waterline, and call it a day. But yeah. And then I'm gonna go in with my Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist by allll. I like this one because I like how it sprays on. The particles are very small, so it doesn't give like big wads of setting spray on your face and then you have to go back and fix it. But yeah, y'all, while this dries, let's talk a little bit about self-perception. To be honest, I wouldn't even say, like, I'm 21 now, and I wouldn't really say that I know myself fully, because obviously I have so much left to explore, especially through other people. Like, other people's perceptions are only, in my eyes, important to the extent where you're allowing yourself to, because I feel like everybody that is brought into our lives, not everybody, but for the most part, God brings people in our lives to see ourselves and see ourselves reflected in other people, and not necessarily what we can change, but what we can improve, not only with ourselves, but with those people. So one, you don't continue to attract the same people because you're running away from the healing that you need. And two, so you can just enjoy people's presence instead of always having to worry about like, hey, I do that. That's embarrassing, you know? But that's just another thing of like self-acceptance though, because perception is cool and it's very important, but if you don't accept yourself, your perception is kind of useless, right? Because it's like, if we're supposed to be listening to ourselves and we don't accept ourselves fully, beautifully in the forms that we come, it's hard to like ourselves enough to want to fix what we feel like we need to fix to get to the point that we actually want to be at, right? But let's go in with a little pressed powder. I don't know if I should be using this, but I like to use this as my actually should. Who's telling me what to do? Nobody. You know what? I should be telling you what to do. Do what you want, but this is what I do. But this is the Maybelline New York Fit Me powder in Mocha. I like to go over my full face after I put my primer and set it, and just put it as like a light base for application. And I only put it on this on my forehead. I usually don't put, I put minimal if any, because I don't want to say if any, because I do place a small powder on my forehead towards the end, but because I have oily skin and I sweat a lot, I don't like a lot of product on my forehead, because it usually ends up going to waste while I'm over here patting because it's so oily. But yeah, just go over my full face with a little powder, and then I set that bad boy again. But yeah, let me start talking. Let me not forget, multitask. Perception. Growing up, I'm not gonna lie, like, people see me nowadays and they see how far I've come, and I feel like going back in again. And now I know that people see where I'm at now and only see where I'm at. And that's why it's so easy to try and like debunk or devalue people's effort and how far they come and like how far they're working to get to where they're going when you don't know where they come from, right? So it's easy to judge a book by its cover. Doesn't make it right, but it is a lot easier route that people choose to take. But that's why this podcast is so important to me, because I know at such a young age I've experienced so much, and why not allow people to see that side of me so they can not only understand me better but protect themselves from going through the same situations. But yeah, right now I'm about to go in with my concealer when I find it. Lately, I've been really digging my natural face. Like, I've been in love with me. I've been in love with me, child. What? And y'all, if anyone ever calls you, because I'm my own damn not home screen. I'm my own damn lock screen, though. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you loving yourself, you adoring yourself, because how can you expect other people to do so when you don't, right? So why are we getting mad at other people for being confident with themselves and being happy with themselves instead of focusing on how we can get there, huh? Let's try that. But I'm about to go in with the concealer that's closest to my skin tone, but still a little light. I haven't decided whether or not I want to do the bright under eye look, but I might, just to make this a little longer. But yeah, I go in a little bit right at the corners of my eyes, and I go a little bit at the, like, go towards up on the corner as well, and then just bring a little bit up to kind of like bring up my face, and do the same thing on the other side. Once I start learning how to record, not record, like you don't just press a button. Once I start learning how to edit, y'all, it's gonna be hard, because y'all that know me, child, I learn things quick and I master them even quicker, okay? So shoot. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with my blush. I like to put everything on because I don't wear foundation, to be honest. Foundation just me and her. We just can't kiss anymore, you know. We just gotta keep it at a friendly distance because she be doing too much on my face sometimes, and I see myself breaking out, and I'm like, what? Because I'm not a person that wears makeup often now, but when I used to, child, oh my god, my skin used to break out so bad. Because not only was I wearing makeup too often and too much, because I can admit, your girl was not always like this. And it's okay, because that's the whole purpose of growth. But let me tell y'all, my little T-zone, The little crackle bars ain't got nothing on me. What? And that was one of my biggest insecurities in high school, my acne. And to be honest, looking back, my acne was never that bad. To the point where I was like, it was never that bad. But that's the whole thing, perception. Things can be so minuscule and we will blow them up into proportions that are completely unnecessary simply because we don't know any better. Because that's just how we're viewing things right now. And oftentimes, because of how we view things right now, that's how we behave, that's how we act, that's how we take care of the things we're supposed to take care of. And that's not always beneficial to us. To be frank, your first instinctual decision that you come across is usually an intrusive thought. Heavy on the intrusive, because Shorty's not supposed to be there. Don't listen to her, okay? But seriously, a lot of times, like, especially with how we view ourselves, and because how we view ourselves goes into how we treat ourselves. How can you treat yourself well if you look in the mirror and you're giving yourself a stank face, babe? Who's gonna take care of someone they looking at all stink like? And like, on a serious note, it's a really shitty feeling, you know? Not being able to love yourself fully because of what? The things that we see, or the things that we hear, not only about ourselves, but other people. Because then we're not just holding ourselves back from what we hear about ourselves, because you can say fuck that and go about your business, but subconsciously programming our mind to judge ourselves based on what other people have is insane. It's really insane. Please listen to me when I say this. There is no need to judge yourself based off of things that you see online. Half of this shit be fake. These rappers that y'all be obsessing over, a lot of stuff that they get that's not fake is usually free. Why? Because everyone loves clout. Businesses love clout. So why not give a free chain to a rapper if it's gonna bring in 30 new clients, which is usually what, like a chain on average, probably, if you want a good chain, like $5K to $20K minimum. I don't know too much, so I'm not gonna talk too much on that, but I'm just saying from what I be seeing on social media. I literally see, I don't know, that rapper that made the song Mob Ties. If you look up one of the interviews that they did with him, he was telling about, like, people really be so focused on all this stuff that all these rappers and all these celebrities be getting, not knowing half of this shit is just a facade. It is so easy to carry around an image when no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes. So why would you, working behind the scenes of your own life, judge what you see based off other people's behind the scenes that you don't have access to? You don't even know what's really going on. Let's be frank, right? So I just really feel like social media, as beneficial as it is when it comes to bringing unity, obviously everything takes time, and I'm praying that things will start to move towards a more positive outlook when it comes to how we view ourselves and how we present ourselves. I really want us to get to a place where we are presenting ourselves authentically. Because yes, like, you can promote and you can do this, that, and the third. Get your bag, get your coin. How you present yourself is very important in the world, unfortunately. First impressions are so important. First impressions, networking, especially in America. If you don't have a good network in America, you are gonna struggle for a long time, babe. I'm not gonna lie. This is a capitalist economy. It's all about who you know and who can get you to where you want to get. Because you can get yourselves there, but relationships, the relationships that you build are so important, because you can get yourself there so much faster. And it's not something to be like, hold on. Oh, by the way, y'all, the blush is from Milani. I've been using this for a couple months now. I'm about to run that little baby dry. And then my favorite contour stick by Black Opal. I can't find it anywhere else. I got it from Walmart like over a year ago, bro. And I have not been able to find it since. Like, so maybe I'm gonna just go to Ulta or something and see if I can find it there. But it's the holy grail. But back to what I was saying. Perception. Babies, 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 babies. Do not be trying to run your pockets dry, trying to keep up with people that don't even have what they're showing you. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Like, come on. These people are fake, fraudulent, phony. I'm not gonna lie, like, while I was in the club scene, not even just the club scene, but a lot of the experiences that I've had this year, and for people that know those scenes and those spaces, I'm so glad that I have been able to develop friendships and relationships with people that have also experienced a lot. Not necessarily negatively, but they are older, so they have more experiences. So I can learn from what they tell me, so I don't have to go through the same mistakes again, or I can recognize when I'm about to make that mistake or about to get into a situation that can be deemed as a mistake or negatively impact me, and I can maneuver my way out of there. Because now, some of the stuff that I be hearing about people dealing, I'm like, there's no way. And then you go through it and they're like, oh, there is a way. And if maybe we had just listened. It's a hard thing to do, to listen, because how do you know? I mean, personally, I don't like taking advice from people. I don't. I really, really don't. I could probably count on my hand, cut a couple fingers, how many people whose advice I really trust, like really genuinely trust, because I'm the type of person, I don't allow people to get close to me at all. Like, that's how I was. Now I'm being able to better recognize genuine relationships and friendships so that I can be drawn towards them and not have to deal with the same bullshit that makes me run away from people. Because as I said, I have social anxiety. I cannot be around fake people. Me, I'm gonna read that shit quick and instantly, like, why am I here? Why am I wasting my time? This isn't even me, you know? So it's like that's why even the club scene was great, fun, had so much fun. And I am so appreciative of my baby girl for Diane Perry. You know, if you want a table with her, let me know. I'm gonna link her information below if she gives me the go ahead. But yeah, if you're ever out in DC, you want a table, hit my shorty. But yeah, y'all, like, the club scene was so fun. I got to experience a lot of different things, see a lot of different people, and just see a different type of life. And I am so appreciative of that. But I also saw the dark side to the nightlife, right? So it was like, it's, you know, we're young, have fun, do what you want, babe. But do it in a way where you're protecting yourself. Because I can't even explain some of the situations I've gotten myself into, not just the club scene, but just in general, because I felt like life was running away from me. You know, having so many responsibilities at such a young age, it's like, you seeing all these other people living their best life, and then you can force yourself to be in those situations that you're not ready for, and then it ends up turning sour for you, and then you don't even get the enjoyment that you were seeking out. So it's like, not everything is gonna be for you, and that is totally okay. Being able to recognize, well, that's another thing, like with perception, the more you get to know yourself, the more you take time to get to know yourself and what you genuinely like, and not what you see other people doing that you like to see them doing, because it looks good when they do it, but it might be a problem when you do it. But fuck it. Not always. Not always. You know, so just like, take your time. Take your time. Taking your time saves so many issues. Oh my gosh. Like, the amount of times, because I tend to be very impulsive. No one has to tell me that. No one nor their mama, nor my mama has to tell me that. I know sometimes, like, when I get ready to do something, I'm like, 3, 2, 1. It's my time and I want it now. You know? And, like, Faith, sometimes I just have to check myself. Like, girl, slow your roll. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. Because that saying that good things come to those who wait is no joke. That's actually real. That's real shit. Whoever said that, big ups to you, because you spit. You ate that, okay? But for real, like, good things really do come to those who wait, because when you give yourself the time to just sit back and reflect instead of like immediately going with your first decision or your first thought, you get to actually lay things out and weigh the positives and the negatives of the situation and how it'll impact you. And that sounds a whole lot better than just doing something and dealing with the consequences later. Because those are consequences that you probably could have prevented, to be honest, 8 times out of 10. There are some situations that we're meant to go through, but that's a completely different thing, right? Because those situations that you're meant to go through, if you are, I wouldn't say religious because I'm not a religious person, but I still pray a lot. So I'd say spiritual. Like, if you have a strong prayer life with whatever you believe in, and you just take a second to like check in with them, especially if they're the very same person that you believe has control over your entire life, why not? Why not ask the OG, the original? Why not ask God? Just be like, hey, God, I'm about to do this. You know, I don't really feel like it's a bad thing to do, but just so I don't get myself into any shit that I don't need to get into, can you just give me a heads up? You know, give me a little sign that this is not something I'm supposed to be doing? And you will be surprised how quickly the good Lord answers. But and that's not always the case, though. Sometimes you are being put in a season of waiting because the answer is already there for you. Or sometimes you're being put in a season of waiting because you're not ready for the answer. And that's still important, too. We can't always expect things to go at our time. Because one, we ain't the ones who made this shit. We just going around learning the lessons we supposed to before we out, right? So why put all that responsibility on yourself when it was never meant for you to bear? God calls us to take our troubles to him because he is or she, I was raised up in a Christian church, so I always say he, but if you ask me, God's non-binary. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. But if you just sometimes just ask, like, just ask. You do not have to do everything by yourself, babe. We grow up in this society where it's like hustle culture. That was a big thing these past couple years. I think we're finally starting to regress, but not regress, but like shift our mindsets to a place of understanding that you do not have to bust your ass and do everything in your power to get what you want. That's not fact. Everything that you want and that you deserve is already laid out for you. Only thing left for you to do is what God asked you to do. If there are situations popping up in your life that you don't feel like God asked you to handle with or deal with, why bother? And it's a lot easier said than done because who wants to just leave things up to chance? But when you understand, nothing just happens by chance, by coincidence. It's like, okay, so this is happening to me, but is it really happening to me or is it happening for me? Is there something I can learn from this? Or is this a situation or a predicament that I put myself into? And if that's the case, is there a way out of it where I would benefit instead of negatively impacting myself even more? And who's the only person who can give you that answer? God. Okay? So, like, back to, as I say that, back to perception. a lot of times we take on so much pain and I don't know, pain and just anger, because we don't just make decisions just to make decisions. We A lot of times when you aren't balanced within yourself with that understanding of self, you can tend to make decisions from an emotional standpoint. That's human. A lot of times, even people that do know themselves well, or, like, have taken the time to really just understand, they still mess up because we are still human. The only way to learn from mistakes is to allow yourself the grace to make those said mistakes. Because behind every mistake or lesson is an opportunity. Every lesson in school, as minuscule as some of them may seem, or everything impacts everyone differently, right? So as small as things may seem in the present, you never know how much that lesson could not only impact you or impact someone else later down the line. Not all lessons we learn right now are meant to strictly be applied to our life now. No. I'm really grateful that I learned a lot of the lessons that I did very young, because now I've learned those lessons, and I'm not just going to take what I learned from those lessons and apply it to that current situation. No, I'm going to go forward and make sure I continue to not only apply it in my everyday life where it can be applied, because every one lesson isn't meant to be, every one learning of a lesson, or wherever you learn from that lesson, isn't meant to be applied just to that lesson. You'd be surprised how, when you allow it to broaden your perspective and broaden how you see things, how it can also prevent you from going through other things that you never even realized were connected because you didn't have that perception before. You didn't have foresight. But now that you allow yourself and trust yourself enough to value those lessons and see that they weren't just something that you went through because, oh, I deserved it. Sometimes those lessons are karma, but that's still a lesson. And karma isn't, I hate that people just like think of it as like good or bad. Like it is, but I feel like karma is really just intention in the physical manifestation, right? So your intentions, hold on, no, we're not gonna skip over that. I believe that karma is the physical manifestation of your intentions. See, when y'all really get into it where I'm at or whatever, and you go back and listen to that, and you really hear it, you really deep it, you gonna understand how powerful that word just was, okay? But for real, like karma really is the physical manifestation of your intention. Because what is intention? Intention is how, or the mindset, or the origin of your decisions, right? And the thing with intent and perception, the tricky thing is how you intend things to go about are not always how people are going to perceive them, right? So you might, let's say, like whatchamacallit, you've been in a rocky situation, because I do a lot about relationships, maybe because I'm lonely. Maybe because I'm just waiting for God to send my husband so I can stop dealing with lessons. But yeah, so like sometimes y'all almost lost my track. Y'all know your girl got ADHD, so if you ever hear me going off track and then running back, it usually works out for me, but I be getting lost sometimes. I be getting so lost sometimes. But one second, we're gonna go in while this has had time to set and just go in and blend my concealer with a brush. And I always spray my brushes before I apply, because it just helps the product move around a little smoother and just be more even, you know? Oh, ba, 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 ba. I'm not gonna know how I act with this microphone, y'all. I'm gonna be doing ASMR for y'all when I get bored, when I get off track. Okay, y'all. Let's steer back to perception. Okay, and self-perception. Right? So me, as I said earlier, people tend to look at me, and because I know I'm very conventionally attractive. As far, I'm first off, I'm a bad bitch. Yeah, but as far as like how other people might perceive me, you know, I would say I've been told that I'm very conventionally attractive. Like the beauty standards and stuff that we have today or right now, because that stuff really changes very frequently. See the Kardashians? Those girls were living with the ant booties for years. All due respect. And now, Miss Kimmy K, Miss Chloe K, the girls are just going back to snatched and skinny. And there's nothing wrong with that, because who's to tell you how you want to be? But the danger is in that when you have that impact and you have that responsibility, really, because even though you say you might have asked for that responsibility, being a celebrity, it comes with it. It comes with the territory. The impact that you have on people comes with the territory. And as much as it must suck, I bet it sucks to be perceived differently all the time by people you don't even know. But everything that you do is moving other people in some way. And whether it leads them to a darker or lighter space, I wouldn't say that's your responsibility, but there is a level of accountability that has to be held for that. And that's why I do not take this platform lightly at all. Let me tell you. The amount of practice, because I could have just made like a YouTube a brick ago. I'm funny. I know people like me. I know people like to hear me talk, and I know I have something to actually talk about. So it's like, as far as actually starting the YouTube, it wasn't necessarily after I started really diving into my self-love journey and understanding that no one's opinion matters. It was not even that anymore. It was a matter of like the responsibility that comes with it, right? Because this is a huge responsibility. I'm already seeing how my consistency in my walk of my life has been impacting other people, and it's so beautiful. Even my little brother, bro. I remember hold on, because the story might make me cry. Let it cry with the rest of the spray. But even my little brother, like, I had gone up to take care of some things. I think it was like the day after Thanksgiving or the day prior. Or I think it was the day after Thanksgiving or the day of. But it was the day after. But me and him had gone up to handle some business. And while we stopped by a gas station on our way back home, we had encountered this young man who didn't have much. Like, he had his coat on him. I assumed he had most of his stuff in his backpack. And I didn't have any cash on me. I felt so horrible. And then my brother offered to walk him across the street to go buy him McDonald's. And I cried. I'm not gonna lie, I was already emotional that day, but that reassured me in a way that I couldn't really grasp until afterwards, you know? Like, just because you don't see these huge changes every day does not mean that your impact is any less valuable. It's in the little things, because those little things cause a ripple effect, and a beautiful one at that. So never give up just because you don't see people immediately supporting you. Like being an entrepreneur, bro, I had to learn. Even the people even your family, bro. A lot of the times, I'm not gonna lie, my career, if it wasn't for the support of strangers, I would not be where I'm at today. No cap. Like the way you beautiful people just come in and just show me this love is insane. Like when I tell you I was talking about this the other day. I love my SS family, because y'all aren't just clients. Y'all aren't just clientele to me. This is Banana Deep Blues Pie, by the way. I'm just about to dust it all over my face before I set and bake. But yeah, like the love that y'all show me is absolutely unparalleled. There's nothing that could compare to it. And I wish I could really explain how that love has brought me to the point that I'm at today. How that love has shown me my purpose. The love that you guys give me to then pour back into y'all is my purpose. To spread the love that I have found with myself. Because not only is it a beautiful love, it's a life-changing love. When you genuinely love and value yourself, you love and value life, the essence of life, in whatever form it comes. When I started loving myself truly, I started appreciating the little things, bro. And it's the little things. Once God sees that you appreciate the small things that he gives you in your life, the small rewards for the dedication that you show, you can't even imagine the waters he will move as you continue to have that faith and to continue to do the work. Because faith without work, she's dead. Faith without work is dead, y'all. You can't say you want God to do this, that, and third in your life, and you're not making no motion, babe. God got emotion stronger than the ocean. Where your shit at? Like, you gotta meet him halfway. You have to meet him halfway, because if he were to do everything for us, there would be no point of him being there. He'd be like everybody's assistant. You think God wants to be everybody's assistant when y'all just be out here fucking up? When I be out here, let me speak for myself. When I be out here doing what I be doing, not anymore, but like, just like my whole journey. If I had given up because I didn't get 10,000 likes immediately, even with this podcast, like, y'all been showing mad love, even though it's really just starting off the ground for real. It hasn't even been a month. But y'all are still liking my stuff. And like, even though it's not to the point where, because I know I'll be having 200 plus people watching me. But as I said, everybody's not gonna go the extra length. And it's not even extra length, because it's really nothing more than a like sometimes. And even though it might seem minuscule coming from them, because like sometimes you feel like you gotta force your friends to support you, and you shouldn't have to. That's why you just need to let that shit go. You cannot force nobody to support you. And you wouldn't even want that. Why would you want people fake supporting you just to be around you? That shit is worse than them not supporting you. At least when they're not supporting you, you know who to move around. But when you allow people in your energy, just for the sake of them being in your energy, so you can feel like you're accomplishing something, baby, that's not always going to lead you in the right place. And sometimes, hold on. Sometimes, God is going to move those people out your life in ways that you will hate. Just to show you that all company is not good company, baby. And you can't recognize that until you love your own company and you love being around yourself. Because how can you know what you like being around if you don't even allow yourself the opportunity to explore that within yourself? You should be your first quote unquote experiment with everything, as far as how you love yourself and how you love other people. You do certain things for yourself and you're like, okay, I like that. So now when you go forward in situations, in relationships, you know what to ask for. It's hard to ask for something you don't know. So that's just another thing. Bring us back to perception. When you don't know who you are, what your purpose is, or even simply what you want, everything can seem misguided. Because like when I say misguided, it's like you do certain things, you make certain moves, and they don't go the way that you want them to. And a lot of times that's to protect yourself because you don't know any better. And God knows that you're just not at that point yet where you know that that would hurt you. So he protects you from it. Rejection, baby. Sometimes rejection is protection. Sometimes rejection is protection. And y'all see how that shit hit me? Look at my eyes. It's because I'm dealing with that right now. Especially when it comes to like relationships. Like, even when you get to that point where you know yourself very well, and you're still learning yourself. We're always in the process of learning ourselves. But even when you get to that point where like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing. It's always something. Just so you can continue to take apart the little meticulous details to truly cultivate who you're supposed to be. Because it's within those small, teeny details that perspective is created. Because what else would it be created from? The little things. But yeah, y'all, I'm about to, this is my no makeup look. It's basically almost done. I'm just about to go in and contour my nose real quick. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, y'all, I'm telling you. Get to know yourself. Date yourself. Oh my gosh. Date yourself. Date yourself. Date yourself. That's the best way to figure out what you do and do not like. Take yourself out. I'm not just talking about dinners. Dinners are cool. Dinners are great. It's so great to spoil yourself, you know, frequently or however best applies to you. But I'm talking about like a date can be as simple as you staying in the house and journaling. Bruh, let me tell y'all, journaling saved my life. It saved my life in more ways than one. I'll say that for sure. Like, oh my gosh, journaling saved my life. Journaling saved my life. I go back some days and I just read my journal to see where I was at that time. Like, not only is having that outlet to yourself, to God, through writing, through release, so important, but that motivation that comes from seeing where you were at and seeing where you are now and where you still have to go, bro, that is another thing that really kept me going. Because there will be days where I'm just sitting here like, shit is not going my way. I'm thinking like the world's about to end. Like, I just made some bad mistake. Like, my karma's about to bite me in the ass. I just set myself back 20,000 steps. And that's not the case sometimes. When we have those breaks, when God puts us in those seasons of waiting, it can be so frightening. I'll be the first to say that shit is so scary. Because you're stuck in a place at first before you realize that it's just a period of waiting for something better. Like, you're over here like, did I fuck up? Did I do something wrong? Like, why? You know, why? That's the biggest question. Like, but getting to the why instead of focusing on the how completely changes things, right? Shifting from how I was viewing the situation to focusing on why the situation, I was going through that situation, what I had to learn from that situation, completely alter my perspective and change. Sometimes, or a lot of times, what's supposed to do is change how you're looking at it, change your perspective so you can go about it from a way that actually helps you instead of keeping you in that. Because if you don't learn what you're supposed to learn in that stagnant time that God puts you in, baby, you're going to either learn through that stagnancy or you're going to have a curveball. A curveball to help you really recognize, since the soft way didn't work, I tried to let you relax and reflect and figure out what you could have done better. You don't want to do that? Okay, I'm gonna put it in your face. And baby, when you put it in your face, no homo. I don't even know why I said that, bruh. Intrusive thoughts. But like when he really puts it like in your vision, your line of vision, like where it's a way that you can't even ignore that shit, it usually sucks more. It's usually a longer path. And sometimes you need to take that path. Because I know me, I'm hard-headed. I'm very hard-headed. A lot of the things that I've been through, not all of them, I don't even want to say a lot, but some of the situations that I've been through, I could have prevented. I'll be the first one to say it. Some of the situations I've been through, I could have prevented. If I had valued that time that God gave me to take a second and to not go off my first instinctual decision, I could have looked at it from a broader perspective and been like, okay, there's a really easy way to solve this, you know? Like, it's not always as bad as it seems, but even when it is that bad, that just means that the lesson is even more valuable. And it's not something to be taken lightly. And those be the ones, oftentimes, that will have the biggest effect in your life. And another thing that helped me shape my perspective was realizing that everything that I'm going through is for a reason, right? And that ties into like, that ties into like, you know, a little bit about faith and like what you believe in, like how strongly you believe in what you believe in, how strongly you believe in yourself. So it's like, and just like that, the words disappeared from my mind. That is so annoying. But yeah, y'all, like, a lot of times, it's not happening to us. It's happening for us. Even changing, like, the little things that you say, right? Like how you speak, moving yourself from a more negative, I don't want to say dictation, but like a more negative, you know, way of talking about things. And that's really like, that's just a little change that allows you to speak more positivity into your life. Because we don't realize a lot of the negative shit that we say on a daily basis out of emotion. And one thing I remind people of so often is that the power of the tongue is very, very real. Regardless of whether or not you believe in it, the power of the tongue is very real. You can't hide from that shit. You say stuff, I noticed when I was young, I would say things, I'm like, almost like deja vu, because I literally spoke into existence. Whatever you believe in, the Bible, the Quran, like everything talks about the power of the tongue, okay? What you say matters. That's our biggest way of communication. Why wouldn't it matter? Talking, whether you're talking to someone else, talking to yourself, talking is a form of communication. And it's not always just going to be heard by the directed audience. Especially if you don't know how to protect yourself spiritually. There could be negative, quote unquote, entities like the devil. Blessings, the devil can send blessings too, right? So one, if you're not keeping your blessings to yourself and what you want to yourself, it opens it up for the enemy to just slide through and be like, can I flip this and make it in a way that would be more desirable for them, but would also take them off their path? Because they're not protecting themselves, because they're not mindful of what they're saying, throw it in your face, and that'll be your karma. And back to what I said, karma is the physical manifestation of your intentions, whether verbalized or even, I don't know how you would say that, but like how you mentally put things forward. Because the way you think, your mindset, is your life. So even if you're not saying negative things, if you're consistently thinking negative things, how else would you expect your life to pan out? Whether it be by the hand of God or the hand of the devil. Child, a lot of the time, the hand is yours. Okay? That hand is yours. And we have been given the beautiful gift of free will to be able to make those decisions for ourselves. But the problem with free will is that when you're the only person to check your actions, like especially when you don't have a higher faith to hold yourself accountable to, where's that guidance coming from? And if it's coming from yourself, are you being misled? Because you could mislead yourself and not even know it, right? But yeah, y'all, I'm not gonna bake too long. We about to wrap this up real quick, real soon. I just want to do a cute little every day, because this really is like 5 products, 5 to 6 products. I don't like putting too much on my face because, especially with a hairstyle like this hairstyle, and I wear glasses now, they're fake, but they look good on me, so I don't really care. Especially when I have most of my face covered, like I don't really be caring wear too much makeup. I just like my skin to be matte, and my little bags, they're getting a lot better, but my little bags to be taken care of. So I'm going to dust this off. I love me some powder. I'm trying to this is my personal products, but I will be, probably next time, I'll do more of a full glam. It'll be a little longer. I'm trying to consistently get these to be longer and longer, but I do want, because I know, especially with the whole social media age, we live in a season, not even a season, we live in an era of instant gratification. And everybody wants things to be quick, get to the point quick. So I'm trying to do this in a way where it's enjoyable for you all, and it's something to replace like the, like once I start making small changes in my life as far as like what I was consuming, because what you consume definitely helps cultivate your mindset. Like even now, small things, like I would listen to music. I usually just have music or the TV on for my clients. But nowadays, child, I listen to music, but even with my drives now, when I'm driving to clients or I'm doing what I do, I prefer, to be honest, I really do prefer listening to podcasts now. Because I want everything that I'm feeding myself to be feeding my body, nourishing my body, as well as my mind and my spirit, right? So it's like, I'm not just doing stuff to do it anymore. It's not me. Once you find your purpose, it's like it feels like everything you do should feel intentional. Everything you should do should have some type of purpose behind it. right? So it's like, that's what I'm just trying to really ingrain in my head, you know? Just trying to get there. We're just trying to get there. We're just trying to thug this whole thing out. But yeah, y'all. But what else do I have to say about self-perception? I will say this. Cause I was gonna mention this little story. Y'all probably won't believe me when I say this, but like, when I tell y'all the growth is insane. Like, nowadays I be loving myself boldly, proudly. But should have seen me a couple years ago. It has been a journey for sure. When I tell you, I'm about to go with a pressed powder before I do my finishing touches. When I tell you, I used to run when I was like 16, 17. This was for a whole year, mind you. I kid you not, this was for a whole year. I would run past the mirror, specifically when I was naked. Like when I was going to go take a shower and shit, like I hated to see myself. I hated to see myself. And it was because of all the things, all the misinformation people were feeding into me about myself, because I was very young. Like I've always had a more developed mindset, right? A more developed understanding of things. But at that age, you're still learning so much, especially when you don't have any independence to really be yourself and really understand yourself fully. You're still like going based off of what people are telling you, who people are telling you are. Because they believe, because they brought you into this world, or they have some type of higher authority or age over you, that means that they know you better than you know yourself. And then they start to feed these negative ideologies into you that wouldn't be there in the first place if it wasn't for them projecting them onto you. Because a lot of the times people think that they know us, but they know us through their own perception of us, through their own ideas and understandings of us that they've accumulated. And that's not always fact. I know for me, all the time it's not fact. Especially even now, like my shit that I hear about myself from people that think that they know me. Like I'm not gonna lie. I used to be a little bit of a rascal, a wild child, right? I can admit that. I can wholeheartedly admit that. So I understand like this quote unquote spirituality change might caught a lot of people off guard, like, oh, she faking and da 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 da. Child, you have no idea the shit I've been through to get here. This isn't even the finished product yet. But to get to the point that I'm at now, the amount of sacrifice, bro, the amount of fucking sacrifice that I've had to have. Not just for myself, but like of the things that I love. Simple joys and stuff like that, like I had to really let go of so that I can become the woman that I'm becoming today. Because it's about more than just me. As much as I love my journey, and it is to cultivate me into the woman that I am and that I'm becoming, it's also to help people and become who they're meant to become, right? And it's like, I love myself now, but I don't take that for granted. When you see me appreciating myself and showing myself love, that is genuine love for myself. Because I'm the only person that knows the shit that I've been through. Even my close peoples and like people that have grown up with me, you know, I'll say a couple of them know the extent of what I've been through outside my family, but the things that I, God first, have dragged myself out of, child, words can't even explain the way I value myself. And I will never, ever, ever, ever look at myself the same. Because now the love that I have, the unconditional love that I have for myself because of what I've been through, and because of what I've chosen, because let me tell y'all, I'm a sweetheart. Nowadays, I'm a sweetheart. But let me tell you, every day I get up is a conscious decision to be better. It's not something that I just wake up and it's like so easy. No, I find myself wanting to regress so badly throughout the day. So fucking badly. I be wanting to take a step back and just be like, fuck it. But I know that I can't do that because it's not just about me at this point. I've done what I had to get myself here, but now I need to get other people here and get them to get other people here and to keep it going. Because what is the purpose of living in a world where you're healed and everyone else around you is still hurting? The whole point of healing is to help other people heal so that we can all be in a unity of healing. That's not what I was looking to say, but you guys get the point. But yeah, y'all, like, when I tell you, finding your purpose, man, and the only way to find your purpose is to find yourself. Only way to find your purpose is to find yourself. So that's a daily thing. Daily choosing to love yourself. Even when you fuck up. Even when you hurt other people, because you will hurt other people. Just because you're healing does not mean you're not. Everyone is a villain in someone else's story. And learning to acknowledge and accept not only the parts of yourself that you're working on and that are getting better, but the darker parts of yourself that still need that healing, or that darker side of yourself that's meant to be there to protect you, to find that balance where you're not hurting other people or yourself. That is very important. Just because you heal doesn't mean like you're never gonna make a bad decision again. That's cat. People fuck up every day. If you weren't messing up, how would you know to do better? So don't hide that part of yourself. Don't think that it's not just as equally beautiful as the sides of yourself that you have taken the time to heal. Every part of you is beautiful. Until you understand that, there's no real healing. Because healing, the first step to healing is acknowledgement and then acceptance. If you can't accept yourself, you can't heal yourself. Not just accept the parts of you that are happy and smiling and can be around people, but no, the parts of yourself where you wake up and you're feeling shitty and you don't want to get out of bed. You have to give yourself the grace to be in those moments and to feel through those moments so that you can get to the better ones. Because it's not just going to happen on its own. It takes time. It takes time, takes persistence, and takes consistency. It takes that want to be better, that want to love yourself and to know yourself better, right? So I really hope y'all take that into account this week as you're going through. We're going, ooh, baby. But yeah, I'm about to do my lips real quick, but I really do hope that y'all take that, what I said, into your lives this week. Acceptance isn't just for the beauty in you, because everything about you is beautiful. Whether it be those little insecurities that you don't like, those little frown lines on your face when you get upset. Not everything needs Botox, respectfully. Sometimes it's okay to just be perfectly imperfect. You're not meant to be perfect. If we were all perfect, the world wouldn't be how it is. Let me say that. We wouldn't be at the place that we're at right now if everything was perfect. And that should go to tell you, everything isn't meant to be perfect. You're not meant to be perfect. If the world isn't perfect, why should you be perfect? Come on now. We really need to really start extending ourselves the same grace that we look for in other people, that we give to other people. Why are we always so forgiving and understanding when other people hurt us, but when we hurt ourselves or when we hurt other people, we don't give ourselves that same grace. There are people in our lives that, because we love them, we allow to treat us any kind of way. Is that real love for yourself? Because that person might love you, but if they don't know how to love you, do you love yourself enough to step away, to step back, and maybe give them the opportunity to learn how to love you better? Because sometimes it's just a time thing. You can't expect everybody to know you off rip or be ready to learn off rip. It's about who wants to. The people that want to will. It's a little hard to talk right now with this, so I'm going to do this quickly. So weak. Y'all, I'm over here. I usually use black liner because I just like how much bolder the look looks. But that one is not sharpened right now, and I'm honestly not about to go all the way upstairs. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a little messy today. You know, I just kind of just want to do like a chill vibe. It's not anything too serious. Tomorrow or the next episode, we'll have a much better setup. And let me know if you guys like this, honestly. If you guys like this little get ready with me, because I could do a couple more like this once I start doing like the interviews and stuff. It'll look a lot more aesthetically pleasing, and you guys will be able to hear me bounce off perspectives with other people, so you guys aren't just getting my perspective. But I did want to start off like this instead of just doing like the interviews off rip, so when I speak to you all, it comes from a different place of understanding. You know, understanding why I believe the things that I do and where those ideas and beliefs are stemmed from. So my challenge to you this week is to be graceful with yourself, take time for yourself, and love yourself. And just focus on loving yourself. Sometimes that's all we need to do to get the clarity that we're looking for. But I hope y'all have a great, great week. And I love y'all so much. Bye-bye.